I haven't actually watched the TV show Survivor in years. The last time I remember watching it was like in the 3rd season. And that was a long time ago, seeing how it's starting its, 22nd season? But I was intrigued on how they were going to make a game out of Survivor.
Hello and welcome to a new Survivor adventure. 16 castaways have left their hometowns, their families, and their friends. They have traveled across the world to participate in the experience of a lifetime. They will battle the elements, encounter dangerous situations, and will need to use their own resources to find food, water, and shelter. Not only will they need to survive the dangers of nature, they will need to survive the other contestants.
That intro made it sound really cool, and I thought this game actually might turn out to be really good. Unfortunately, it turned out to be a lame minigame collection. It wouldn't have been as bad if they let you interact with the tribe like they do on the TV show. If there was a way you could make alliances and friends with the other non-playing characters, it would have made the game much more fun to play. Why not make a Sims type game with mini-games in between? That way we get to experience the whole way this show is presented, and not just parts of it. The adventure mode has you going up against 15 other players to see if you can make it to the end to be the ultimate survivor. You play reward challenges to get advantages in future games, and immunity challenges to stop you from being kicked off the island, and to dwindle down the other contestants. The first thing you do is pick a tribe. After you do that, you choose what character in the tribe that you want to do the minigame. It does tell you in the loading screen which game is coming up, and that is helpful since you can choose the best player for the game that you have to play. Each player will excel at a different game, and you can see which games they're best at in the character select screen, so that's helpful. All of the games look awful. The graphics look like something a PlayStation 1 would put out. This kind of thing just pisses me off. There is no reason it has to look this terrible, and it just makes the Wii look bad. The games are all controlled different. Sometimes it was pretty easy to figure out, but other times they would overcomplicate the controls. It was helpful that they would show you the moves on the screen, but it was still problematic at times trying to remember all the controls. But it didn't help that the controls were a bit hit and miss when it came to the motion controls. When you had to do games where you had to use a boat or a canoe, you might as well just give up before you even get started. It was ridiculously hard to get any sense of control in those challenges. It wasn't as bad when the motion controls were used as a secondary control, like when you had to cut down things. But when you had to use the motion controls to, let's say, move, it was frustrating and tiring. This title also lets you use the Wii balance board on some of the challenges, but unfortunately my balance board is not currently working, so I don't know how well those controls are. The game will keep track of every score you get. I did find it a bit condescending when they would congratulate me on getting a new high score, when I totally sucked at it.
Nice work. You set a new record.
Yeah. I know there was no other top score, but I did pretty badly. There's no reason to congratulate me for it. I wish you had the ability to give up on a challenge, but there are no quitters in this game. You have to finish a challenge, even if it's impossible to finish. Like this challenge where I have to find an object that's hidden in the leaves. I spent over 10 minutes looking over every part of the map to find the last piece, and I never did find it. I eventually had to quit and restart from my last save point. And I am convinced that the computer stole my piece, since it only needed 3 pieces and it had 4. It was stupid that you had to complete every game, even when it's obvious that you've lost. If you lose the immunity challenge, your tribe has to go to tribal council, and then the computer will pick one of your characters to send home. So you might be asking, which one is your character? Well, the answer is all of them. You play as the whole team. If you do manage to win the immunity challenge, and you send the computer to tribal council, you get to choose who you want to send home. It shows you which game is coming up next, so you're going to want to send home the person who's most specializing in the game that's coming up in order to get an advantage. You'll keep doing this until half of the contestants are gone. When this happens, the host of the show, Jeff Probst, comes out and tells you that the tribes are merging.
The merge of the 2 tribes is finally here.
What does it mean when you merge? Absolutely nothing. You're still playing against teams. What kind of merging is that?
You lied to me, Probst!
The cutscenes were very annoying because the characters' animations would never sync up to the way their mouths were moving. And I found it very distracting and really unprofessional. Things do speed up a little after the merge, as they will occasionally skip the reward challenge and go right to the immunity challenge, which I appreciated, since it was a test of wills to see if you could actually finish the game, due to its tediousness. As you play the games, they become unlocked to play in the menu if you really care to. Plus, they also give you the option to play with more than one player, so that changes things up a little bit, but the games are still dull to play. Survivor the game is pretty boring. It looks and plays like a title that was ported to the Wii from an older system to make a quick buck. The bad controls, ugly graphics, and repetitive gameplay makes it very easy for me to say you should absolutely skip this game.
They've decided to vote you off. Their decision is final. The tribe has spoken.